August of 2006, we found out we were expecting our first child, and we were so excited. At the beginning of November, we headed to our OB for the ultrasound. The ultrasound kind of took a unique turn. At the end of the ultrasound, they said, "We really can't get the pictures of the heart that we're looking for. This happens all the time, but we'd like you to go to maternal fetal medicine to get a level 2 ultrasound." And we were pretty nervous. I guess something in your gut just kind of puts up the red flag. So when we got to the maternal fetal medicine, they said, "You're here because there's something wrong with your baby's heart." So in December, we went to the pediatric cardiologist, and he confirmed the aortic stenosis. And when the day has all but ended, but was also concerned that the baby's heart also had a coarctation in the aorta. No, you will not be alone. He said, yeah, at this point we're looking at a 50% chance that it could be hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And you will not be afraid. So we were completely shocked and kind of wish we had had a little more preparation. They referred us up to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. We made a plan that I would have to come back up to Philadelphia when I was 36 weeks pregnant, and they would set us up to stay at the Ronald McDonald House in Camden. March 4th, we drove back up and checked in at the Ronald McDonald House, and on March 5th, we had to go back for another appointment. Well, 2 weeks later, I went into labor early and ended up giving birth after a pretty quick labor to Bobby, and he was 7 pounds, 8 ounces, and he did great all during delivery. I even got to hold him for a couple of minutes, which was awesome. He had to have his first surgery 3 days later. That surgery was about 4 hours long, and he did really well during his surgery. He came out on a ventilator with a lot of tubes and everything, and all through the night I got up and checked on him. Every time I checked on him, they were turning down the ventilator more and more. And for a hypoplastic child who's just had his first surgery, that's pretty miraculous, because usually they are on the ventilator for at least a week, if not longer. He was in the hospital for about 3 weeks, and most of that time wasn't anything heart related. It's just that he had to learn how to eat, and because he's a heart baby, he would tire out more easily. They equated eating by a bottle like running a marathon. But all in all, considering the severity of his heart defect, he did awesome. So for the next 4 months, we got to just enjoy him at home, and he was very stable. And at 4.5 months, they decided that it was time for a second surgery. So back to CHOP we went, and this surgery was a lot quicker than the first surgery. After 5 days, they discharged us, much to our disbelief, and sent us home. And just really enjoy Bobby without having to worry about any upcoming surgeries. Bobby enjoyed, a nice toddlerhood, and just like any normal little boy, other than the scar on his chest and looking a little blue because his oxygen levels were lower than the normal child. In the spring of 2010, they decided that he had turned 3 and he had reached the goal of 30 pounds. So it was time to go ahead with the third surgery. And if we thought putting a little baby through surgery was hard, nothing compares to putting a toddler through surgery. They're much more aware of their surroundings, and it was really hard. Again, he flew through his surgery. They decide during the third surgery if they want to put a little hole in the heart to help relieve some of the pressure that can be caused, and they thought he was doing so well that he didn't need the hole, so which meant his oxygen saturations would be higher immediately, and he would need no interventions later on as far as the hole goes. So when he came out of surgery, his oxygen levels were in the 90s, and he looked so pink. When you live with someone who's always looking blue, it just looks normal to you. But when he came out of that surgery, he had this glow to him that he never had before, and that was amazing. Bobby was 21 months old. We found out that we were expecting our second child. It was an uncomplicated pregnancy, and it was wonderful to have a delivery where I could actually take a baby home with me. They let me go after 24 hours, which was amazing. As Brogan was growing up, a little baby, I was always kind of worried about his head shape. I had heard about something called craniosynostosis.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
When Brogan was 6 months old, we went in for a checkup for wheezing, I think. And at that time, the doctor mentioned that he too was concerned about Brogan's head shape and referred us to a craniofacial specialist. We went to the surgeon, and he confirmed that he thought it was sagittal craniosynostosis. I found a group online called craniokids.org, and everybody on the website was talking about a Dr. Farron in Dallas. So I emailed him on a Saturday, and by Saturday evening he had returned my email, which I thought, for a surgeon who can tend to be kind of cocky, that was pretty amazing. August of 2010, shortly before Brogan's birthday, we flew down to Dallas for his craniofacial surgery. We met with the doctor one day and kind of did all the pre-op stuff, and then the next day it was time for surgery. I tried really hard not to think about, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm putting my another child through yet a major surgery. If I let myself go there, I would have completely fallen apart. Out of all the surgeries that we've been through with our children, it was the longest. I think it was closer to 5 hours. When he came out, he looked great at first. You get used to looking at something and thinking it's normal, but when they come out looking really normal, then you realize what a difference it makes. He swelled up quite significantly. And they did tell us that the swelling would be at its greatest around 24 to 48 hours after surgery. There are some concerns because if the sutures fuse too early, that the brain doesn't have enough room to grow, so it can cause some cognitive delays. That wasn't the case with Brogan. They did say when they took some of the skull off that his brain did relax, so it was kind of tight in there, but he's had no long-term effects from it. There is really no anything else that we have to do for him. This past summer, we added to our family 2 beautiful little girls, Brenna and Brooklyn. They, of course, had to add their own little hospital stay in the NICU as they were born at 32 weeks. But they are now 9 months old, and they are doing well. And Bobby and Brogan love to dote on them. And, of course, beat them up a little bit occasionally. I guess toughen them up, I would say. And Bobby is preparing for his first year of kindergarten in the fall, and Brogan is preparing for his first experience in preschool. So before any of our experiences, I didn't even know what the Ronald McDonald House was. And when the social worker, told us about the Ronald McDonald House and how it could help our family, we were so grateful, because for the length of time that we've had to spend in Ronald McDonald Houses, there's no way financially, housing plus food plus travel plus medical bills, that we'd ever be able to, get on our feet, stay on our feet, keep our house, any of that while going through what we've gone through. The other thing is so amazing is that it's such a support system that you can't really get anywhere else. When we were first diagnosed with Bobby, we felt very alone. Everyone around us was having healthy babies, and we really felt like there was no one out there to relate to us. One thing that I thought was so special at the Ronald McDonald House was the daily support from the volunteers that were there. It could be anything from care bags dropped off I remember one group that came and made beaded necklaces and bracelets with us, and that was just so nice to get your mind off of things. And also the meals that were made for us on a nightly basis. That hospital food can get tiring after a while, and after a long day at the hospital, it's nice to come and have something warm and homemade, and just, you know, come home to like a home. And we always say the Ronald McDonald House is like our second home.
It's a brand new day. The sun is shining. It's a brand new day.
It doesn't just stop there. I think that they're always going to be a special part of our lives.
I'll be okay.